Yep, my name is Matt Bader. I'm a solution architect, part of our Kasten product team. I do a lot of our partner enablement, which is obviously how I found myself in the lap of Instruct. It's learning through doing, right? You make documentation come to life. Kubernetes is an incredibly powerful thing. It can be an incredibly complex thing with the amount of diversity that you can deal with. So if you can give someone a fast track of documentation of, hey, you need this, and this, or your lab environment will be ready in 60 seconds, and here's your sandbox. I mean, I know if I were that learner, which one I would choose. Certainly overwhelmingly positive for that reason. The user interface itself of just keeping what I'm doing next right next to my terminals. It's a lot of little things, right? Click to copy and paste, having everything just very well organized. The fact that, like Kubernetes, like these are labs as code, right? I've done a lot of other hands-on lab work in other roles, working with restructured text and markdown, so having that familiarity of like, oh, okay, cool, I can just keep all of my labs in GitHub and now have pipelines to roll out my dev copy and my prod copy of my labs. Like that makes me, that makes my heart sing a little bit. On the partner enablement side, we're definitely looking to scale up the number of reseller partners, GSI partners that are doing work solving larger Kubernetes problems for their customers today. And as more people are adopting stateful workloads on Kubernetes, data protection becomes a natural extension of that. And it's just how do we get them capable of bringing this to their customers as quickly as possible. We'll run 2-day virtual classes that is far more than a crash course in Kasten, and that's enabling a lot of these partners to go back to their own lab environments and feel that much more confident, comfortable understanding of deploying our product and then building out a lot of the other use cases that we've talked about in class. Virtual trainings, long virtual trainings are difficult, right? The COVID has broken a lot of our brains in terms of attention span. So I know I can't say, oh, I'm going to tack on a third day or a fourth day to cover all of these other things. But I think being able to have that high touch experience for the basics, but then having a platform where I can enable more a la carte consumption of other components of the solution that are going to be relevant for specific partners at specific times. Right now I'm actively trying to get the work we're doing for live classes embedded into our LMS within Veeam, so then I can turn around and make those additional labs on demand available to all of our partners. Building those relationships with our partners that are very cloud and Kubernetes focused, for sure, but also looking at how we can use Instruct just from an on-demand customer-facing lab perspective, from just a simple test drive perspective. So I want to get in and understand, whether it's a 15-minute lab or I'm working on more of a half-day boot camp that our field SEs can deliver today to their prospects. It's just another one of those tools that can help speed up mitigate POCs, maybe the way to talk about it. It's a training tool, it's a sales tool, it fills a lot of gaps for me. I mean, there are certainly larger solutions that maybe it's within a single lab might become very difficult to walk through, but the more like we can kind of componentize individual topics and let people consume in more bite-sized pieces, but really be able to measure their progress through that. Like some of the reporting, the live event dashboard, just being able to see at a glance in, when I've got Zoom window here and all of my notes there, like being able to glance over at another browser and say, okay, 2/3 of my class is 80% done with this lab, and we've got 5 minutes left. Like, all right, I'm gonna add a little more time on here.
Right.
It just creates some flexibility as an instructor as well. So to that end, one of my, as I'm trying to scale as an individual human being, trying to enable now our SEs to take over more of the delivery of some of these partner trainings, so we can do them more often or target very specific markets or even individual GSIs. It was not necessarily a concern for me that I needed to really sort of open up some access to the SEs to be able to create their own events and access that dashboard, but at the same time maybe be able to muck with some of the content that I've worked very hard on.
Sure.
So having this, the Instruct Slack channel in general has been a great resource, not just interacting within other users, but with the product team and developers. Say, hey, this is a real need for me. I need these users to be able to create their own events, be able to do live remote inspecting other users' sandboxes to support those live classes, but having no ability to break other things. Not that they would, but just so I can sleep better at night.
Yeah.
I mean that was pretty quick turnaround from raising that as a real need and getting direct developer feedback of like, hey, I built this thing, do you want to go kick the tires on it to see if that's what you were after? You don't get that from every vendor, so that was pretty cool. It's a very blank canvas, right? Like Instruct it's a very composable thing, so it's about what you make of it. Obviously, for my use case, for Kubernetes workloads and even things directly tied to Kubernetes infrastructure, we can really sort of start with the basics and then keep layering on top of that. Like right now, I'm working on different examples of how Kasten fits within a GitOps deployment model for deployment and life cycle of our application itself. So to be able to take someone from the basics to some of the more difficult problems to solve in really operationalizing a product like ours, it is very helpful. That's my vision here of having these sort of a la carte offerings, because again there is so much variety. Am I doing GitOps with solution A versus solution B versus solution C? If my boss is listening, I'm not committing to building all of these, but having that capability is very cool.